If there's one thing that makes everything better, Tyler, it's pizza.
Hmm. Oh yeah, it solves a lot of people's problems.
What type of pizza do you like?
I'm more just like a plain pepperoni. I'm pretty traditional. Straight up go for it.
My husband, he grew up in New York, so he always wants the New York style pizza.
All right,
I'm like,
that's fine.
There's nothing better than Buddy's pizza. And for some reason, too, I believe it tastes better when it comes from the original Buddy's
Of course.
over in Detroit at 6 Mile and Conant. But what's it like to have to come up with the branding for the iconic pizza chain? Let's bring in Wes Pikula. Is that how do you pronounce your last name,
Yeah,
Wes?
it's Wes Pikula. That's fine.
Oh, Pikula, Chief Brand Officer over at Buddy's Pizza. Great to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me and having buddies on air, I guess.
Oh my gosh, how much pizza do you eat in a year?
Well, let's put it this way. I've been here going on 47 years, so I probably eat a pie a day. So somebody has to do the math.
Well, once you get past so many, the calories don't count any longer.
Yeah, but there's ways, you can order like cheese. There's all kind of different ways to skin a cat, as they say.
So, how long did you say you've been with Buddies?
Going on 47 years. Actually, just had in April, it's been 47 years.
47 years. What's it been like for you? I would imagine you've held a lot of different jobs throughout that time.
I have, and I started at the original Buddies at Six and Conan, as you mentioned earlier. I was 15 when I started. My first job was a dishwasher, and I moved up the ranks as time went on. And I've had positions as unit manager and chief operating officer. And so now I'm in sort of my twilight. So I'm the chief brand officer. But one thing I can talk about is Buddies and pizza. So
Can For those that maybe don't know the history behind Buddy's Pizza and what makes it so special, can you share that with us?
sure. So there was a house on Six Mount Kona in Detroit, on as they refer to it as the East Side. And at some point in the 20s, maybe early 30s, it was a little bar. There's rumors that it was a speakeasy or a blind pig, as they referred to as back then during Prohibition. And sometime in probably 45, 46, a gentleman by the name of Gus Guerrera had purchased the building. And, back then, had a lot of veterans that spent time in Italy, all meandering through those neighborhoods. It was kind of an ethnic area, Polish, German, Italian. They would come into the bar and talk about this great thing they ate in Italy, blah, blah, blah. And obviously they're talking about pizza. And so Gus, being of Italian origins, you know, it sparked an idea. And so at the time, he was used to the Sicilian style, which was more rectangular version that I think his mom was familiar with. So back then, I don't think there were too many square pizza pans available. So in pursuit of finding something he could bake this sort of rectangular pizza, somebody in the bar or at the restaurant coming in at the time, was a really small place, said, "Hey, we've got these things at the shop that maybe it'll work." And what they wound up being is these little drip trays, or trays that kind of were scrap metal collectors. They were like 8 by 10 inches and 10 by 14 inches. They brought some in, and as folklore has it, he put some dough in there and he put it into this I don't know, drip pan, and wow, an amazing bake came out of this thing. So the whole streets back then were lined with tool and die shops and automotive little suppliers. And so that's where it started. It started, they had the two size pans, the 8 by 10 and 10 by 14, which is ironic because kind of that's how that, and to this day, that's all we serve. And, the bake was amazing and the pizza started. So the other part that's interesting is that the pizza is actually different because it was assembled differently. Traditional pizzas have dough, sauce, cheese. Well, the Buddy's pizza, now referred to as Detroit style, is actually dough, pepperoni, cheese, and then with a layer of sauce on top. So it's the square shape. It's baked in the industrial pans, and of course, it uses brick cheese, which is a little different in the industry. Everyone uses mozzarella or some blend. Buddy still uses the Wisconsin brick cheese, And of course, that bake in those corners kind of sets it apart from everybody else.
And it always tastes better the second day as well. It is so good. But it also, to think back to how it started, but it has really started a pizza revolution. And now it's like you said, it's referred to as Detroit style.
It's referred to as Detroit style. And I think when Pizza Hut brought it into or put it on their menu, 5,000 plus stores, it kind of gave it additional validation that it's a viable product. Of course, Chicago and California and different regions always had their pizza. St. Louis has their pizza. So I think I think for us, for Buddies, and me personally, growing up in Detroit and living next to the Buddies location, very close to it, it's really an honor to have something like this represent the city. The city, as everyone knows, has gone through a lot, and we're so proud to be Detroiters, and to actually have something coming out of Detroit, right? You have Cars, you have Motown, Verner's, of course, Sanders, but to have Stroh's, of course, but you have Buddies now as part of that mix, uh, coming out of the city, out of very sort of humble beginnings there, and we're very proud. 75 years, that's our anniversary this year. We're able to, people can order the pizzas now through Gold Valley online. So we have frozen pizzas, and it's a national thing. So people can go online and have it shipped anywhere in the country. And so that's exciting too.
So it's just like times change, you have to evolve around the times as well. Wes Pikula with us here on the MegaCast. He's the Chief Brand Officer for Buddies Pizza. And Wes, can I ask you, are you experiencing the same problem as so many other restaurants right now and trying to find enough employees?
Yes, we really are. I mean, I think our industry in general, it's Buddies, but it's food service. When I started in food service, it was just an amazing time there, the camaraderie and just the hustle and bustle. And there's still a lot of that here. I think what happened is COVID really redirected a lot of people, redirected resources, and it's somewhat frustrating. But we do everything just like other restaurant groups do. We have sign-on bonuses. We have a great work environment. Our culture is second to none. Buddies does ridiculous amount of work for the communities that it operates in. And we try to maintain a very sort of opportunity zone, I guess, at Buddies, where employees can come in, like myself, started, as a dishwasher, probably making, $1.50 an hour, whatever it was back then, which seemed like a lot of money when you don't have a job other than a paper route. But, now you can come to Buddies with, have 19 stores. We just opened Troy. I mean, you can have opportunities to get into management and learn life skills and work with some amazing people. So it's about, trying to recruit with wages, trying to do sign-on bonuses. We have a refer a buddy program where you can refer people to come to Buddies. But the bottom line is you got to think also about retaining your employees and making sure that the employees that are working for you, that show up every day, get the recognition and get the support that they need. So it's not always, yes, we're trying to hire employees, but let's also make sure that the employees that work here are treated with respect.
I love that you said that. And with that, give Janice over at 6 Mile in Conant a shout out. She's by far the best.
We love Janice.
She's the best bartender ever.
She's a warrior.
She is. She is. She is so fabulous. So if you're over there, tell her we said hi. Right?
No, I will. And I think that speaks to Buddies, not only the pizza, but to the people. I always equate those two because you can't have the pizza without the people and vice versa. So,
but at the same time, you guys are still expanding. I think, wasn't there a new one that opened too long ago?
Yeah, we opened in Troy. And of course, Troy is an area that we've always looked at. It's part of the Buddies, I say community, because we have stores surrounding it. It seats about 200. It's a cool little place. We put a lot of elements in there from Buddies, bocce balls, the rendezvous sign, like we made light fixtures out of oil filters and done a few things. Obviously Motown is a big part of the city. Buddies historically has always delivered pizzas backstage in the 70s and the 80s to many Motown acts, and even in the 60s. I mean, it wasn't unusual to get a call from Ford Auditorium to deliver pizzas backstage to Diana Ross or to Olympia Stadium when they had the Motown review there. We quite often were called upon to make that delivery late at night. So No, we're expanding. We're going to be opening up more locations, and again, that's why it's a great opportunity for people, that want to be in food service business. I mean, I think it's a great business. The life skills you learn in the restaurant industry are second to none, and it's still a lot of fun. And you get to eat Buddy's Pizza every day, so that can't be all bad, right?
Right, exactly. My favorite though is the salad, the antipasta salad. That's so good. And I know that you guys do the buddy bones
We do
as
the
well
Buddy
for the
Bones.
dogs.
We halted a little bit for COVID, but the dressing again, same historical, made by in gallons, marinated for 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, it's just stuff that you can only get at Buddy's. And of course, everyone always touts 6 Mile because that's where it all began. So if you're talking about a 75th anniversary, you got to talk about 6 Mile. And we always say the pizza's better there because of the water, which I don't know if that's true or not. But those are all the rumors. I'm just passing on rumors.
That's
I'm
okay.
I'm at Farmington today, and I think the pizza's pretty good here. So
I will say I'm like you. Because if we order or take home, then we'll get it from the local one. But if you're going out, we used to go every Thursday night at that corner booth at 6 Mile and Conant. It was
Yeah.
our booth, and if someone was in there, we were kicking them out.
Down 4 and 5. I remember I bust many a tables there into the late hours when we used to be open at 1:30 in the morning in the 70s.
So with that too, Wes, can I ask you, you just mentioned about so many famous people. Who have you met through Buddies?
Well, we had Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook came in a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, I was there that night, and
Yeah,
I tried to get
yeah,
in back there to get an interview with him, and you guys
Yeah,
stopped me.
no, but
Wow.
that was probably we delivered. The Paul McCartney. I mean, through the years, there's just been so many. I mean, every baseball team that came into town that played always visited Buddies after the games. I mean, I can't even imagine all the different people that walked through Buddies. I mean, it was just normal. People would come in. We wouldn't even think twice about it. It's like, I don't know if you've ever been to California, but if a star comes around, no one even pays attention. And at 6 Mile, it kind of got that way because every night there was somebody there. I did wait on Leon Spinks one time when he lost his teeth. I don't know if that's a celebrity, but I don't know
Ouch.
I don't know if you remember that story, but it was pretty interesting. He came in with a full length fur coat, and I was just started as a bartender, and I couldn't understand what he was ordering, and I was getting scared by the minute. So another bartender had to come in because I couldn't understand him because he didn't have his teeth. And then in the paper it said that he had lost his teeth somewhere. It was pretty wild. But 6 Mile was very colorful, and the characters that came in there obviously were colorful. So, and we still have them. So it's not like it ended. I think you still go into 6 Mile and see the cast of characters, as I call them.
That's a good way to describe it. With that, too, you just mentioned 75 years in business. Are you going to continue to expand, or do you guys come together after COVID and the pandemic and say, let's realign, or are you doing okay?
No, we're doing great. And I think also we are going to expand. I think with Buddies, it's such a treasure. And there's so many people through the years and through the history of Buddies, and you mentioned Janice at 6 Mile. They've added so much to this company that it would be a shame not to put it on a runway and let it take off. I mean, we talk about the pizza, but Buddies has more than just pizza. It's community outreach. It's working within the restaurants with staff. It's just being part of everyone's life from the time they're little coming in and parents are giving them breadsticks till they have their kids and their graduations. We've fed generations, and we're proud of the city, and we're proud to take something that developed in the city, was born in the city, and let the rest of the country take a run at it. No, we're going to keep going, and we're excited to do it.
Well, Wes, it's been so great having you with us today. We so appreciate it, and congratulations on 75 years.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having us and tell the Buddy story. We appreciate it.